everyone and welcome. My name is Edshara. This is Shara Me with Books, and today I'm going to be sharing my very overdue birthday haul. So before I get into the haul, I just want to explain a little bit about why I've been absent for the last month or so. I started a new job in the middle of July, and it's been a bit more taxing than I was expecting. And so while I still had time to film, I just haven't had the energy, and I don't want to film videos just to film. Also, I have been in a bit of a reading slump or a reading funk since I started the new job. I started one book before the job and I haven't finished it. I started a second book and I got about 40% of the way through and I still haven't finished that one either. I haven't really been posting content on Bookstagram or Twitter or even Goodreads, so I've just kind of been really out of the loop. I am hoping to kind of get back into the swing of things because I'm so disappointed that I missed a couple of things that I was really looking forward to, like the Booktubeathon and the first round of the People of Color-a-thon. So I'm hoping that I can get back into things because I really do miss this community and I miss making videos. But even if I had wanted to film videos, I wouldn't have had any content for you guys. So that is why I haven't been around the past month or so. As for my birthday, it was way back on July 5th, and I spent most of the month kind of collecting books, and then I ended up getting some birthday money, and I used that to buy books from Barnes&Noble, and I bought those earlier this month, so I'll be sharing those. The majority of the books in this haul are going to be Christian fiction because I was able to take advantage of some sales, and I'm excited about them because Christian fiction is one of the genres that I don't own that many books in, so I was really interested in adding to my collection. So, with all of that said, I'm also going to apologize in advance. I hope that I can keep this video short, but it's been a while and I'm feeling a little bit chatty. So hopefully I can rein some of that in. Also, I probably am not going to remember what all of these books are about, so forgive me for that as well. Now, let's get into the haul. So, the first book that I have is 100 Days to Brave by Annie F. Downs. This is a 100-day devotional. It's been kind of making the rounds in one of the groups that I'm in on Facebook, so I've been interested in checking it out. I'm usually not too good with book devotionals. I have a tendency to slack off a little bit, but hopefully I'll be able to stick to this one. Then I picked up Where'd You Go, Bernadette by Maria Simple from the thrift store for $1. I've seen this one here on BookTube. I think it's gotten kind of mixed reviews, but this is one where a young girl wins a family trip to Antarctica, but right before they're set off to go, her mother ends up disappearing, which kind of throws the family into a bit of chaos. But it sounds really interesting, and for $1 I figured, why not? Then I picked up 2 free books. I mentioned this program before, but Tyndale, which is a Christian publisher, they have a rewards program where you can earn points and then use those points to get free books. So I picked up 2. The first is the second in a companion series. It's called Just Let Go by Courtney Walsh. I don't remember what this one is about, but I know the cover really interested me, and at the time that I read it, I know that the synopsis sounded really good. I did end up picking up the first book in this little series, and I will show that to you in a few minutes, but I've never read anything by this author. I'm hoping it's good though. I also picked up Engraved on the Heart by Tara Johnson. This one, the cover just intrigued me. I thought it was so pretty. But this one, the main character has to deal with, I believe it's epilepsy. I can't remember. It's not on the back right now. But I do believe it's epilepsy. This is a historical fiction book. And so it's kind of a scandal that she has this illness during that time, and so she has to kind of deal with that and deal with, you know, the pressure from her family as well. but she ends up running into an old friend who is now a doctor, and he has a hand in the Underground Railroad. And so I was really interested to see how all of those things go together. And this again is an author that I haven't read anything by, but I'm hoping that I will enjoy this one because it sounds like it could be really good. Then christianbook.com, they were having some sales. They had 2 sales back to back. I kind of wish I had waited for the second sale because some of the books I'm about to show you were a little bit cheaper, but I'm not too mad about it. I ended up picking up the complete Aloha Reef series by Colleen Coble. I do have a few books of hers on my Goodreads want to read list, but I've never read anything by her. But I think the thing that interests me in her is I think people who aren't necessarily Christian fiction readers still read her books, and that usually means that their books are a little bit more inclusive, I guess you could say. So I'm hoping that I will enjoy this series. I don't remember what order they go in, but one of the books is Dangerous Depths. And then we have Black Sands and Distant Echoes. And this one came a little bit nicked in the corner, but this one is Midnight Sea. And I chose this series because books 2, 3, and 4 in the series were $1.29, but it also takes place in Hawaii. And so I was thinking, because there are Hawaiian characters, that there would be a little bit of diversity. So I'm really interested in this one. I do remember the first book featured like a terrorist attack, and one of the main characters was someone who works with dolphins, and all of that intrigued me. So I'm really interested to finally read work by Colleen Coble. So hopefully I will enjoy this series. And like I said, the second, third, and fourth book were $1.29, but then I had to pay like $6.99 or something like that for the first one. So they were sneaky, but I wasn't too mad about it. But had I waited a couple of days, I could have got second, third, and fourth books for 99 cents. But I still took advantage of the second sale, and I ended up picking up a couple more books from christianbook.com. And the first one is One Perfect Spring by Irene Hannon. Sorry if there's a glare. And this one involves a single mother, and her daughter ends up going to the executive assistant of a very philanthropic businessman and asking him to help her find a relative of one of her neighbors. And that just sounds really cute, and I know it's probably going to have a little bit of romance. So I decided to pick this one up, and I think it was 99 cents. And I've read other books by Irene Hannon and enjoyed those, so I was excited about this one. Then I picked up, like I said, the first book in that companion series, and this one is Just Look Up by Courtney Walsh. And this one follows an interior designer who has to go back home after something happens with her brother. And I got this one because I ended up getting the second book, and even if they can be read out of order, I still like to read them in order. Then the series that I'm really excited for is the Prince Warrior series by one of my favorite Bible teachers, and that is Priscilla Shirer. She wrote this series with Gina Detweiler, and the first one is The Prince Warriors. And this is like a Christian fiction middle grade series. And then the second one is The Prince Warriors and the Unseen Invasion. And then the third book in the series is The Prince Warriors and the Swords of Rama. And I've been really interested in this series since this book came out, but my library doesn't have them. So I figured, why not get them while I can get them on sale. So I'm really hoping that I will love these because I usually love work by Priscilla Shirer. Also, I know that there is a fourth book now out in this series, so I'm hoping I'll enjoy these so I can get that book. So next I picked up some books from Barnes&Noble, which is always good, but it's even better when somebody else is paying. But I picked up Dear Martin by Nick Stone. This is one that I read earlier this year and loved it, so I had to have it for my collection. And it follows the Black Lives Matter movement. It's in the same vein as The Hate U Give and other books like that. And it's really good. If you haven't read it, you should definitely read this one. It's short, but it is amazing. I love it. Next, I picked up The Bells by Danielle Clayton. This is another one that I read earlier this year and gave 5 stars. I really loved it. And again, I had to have it in my collection because look at that cover. And then inside, look at all that pretty pink. It's a map. And then the last bit of books that I have are the Skinjacker trilogy by Neil Shusterman, and included in this is Ever Lost, Ever Wild, and Ever Found. And myself and Mary Ellen from Portraits of Me read the first book in this series, which is Ever Lost. We started it in June and we finished it, I think, at the beginning of July or the end of June. But we buddy read it and I really enjoyed it. If you are familiar with any of my other videos, you'll know that I bought the first book in this series originally from thriftbooks.com in hardcover, but when it arrived, it was a library copy and it had liquid damage. So I ended up getting that for free, but I wanted good condition copies because I knew I was probably going to want to continue this series. So that's why I picked it up from Barnes&Noble. Plus, Mary Ellen and I are supposed to read the second book together, so I wanted to make sure that I had it so that when we got ready to read it, you know, I didn't have to scramble to find it. So that's the first book in the series, and it's very good. It follows these 2 children who are killed in an accident, and instead of ending up in heaven, they kind of end up in this afterlife limbo. And like I said a couple of times already, it was really good. And then the second book in the series is Ever Wild, and looking forward to reading this one. And then the last book in this series is Ever Found. And so I'm really interested to see how things go, because the way things left off, I don't know if I gave you a good shot of the second book in the series. Because the way things left off, it was like a good cliffhanger. So I cannot wait to see. I'm not going to try to shove that back in there on camera. But I'm really excited for that series. I can't wait for us to read the second book. Now, for the few items that I have, I ended up picking up Rainbow Bright and her friend Twink. And I'm so excited for these because I loved Rainbow Bright. And I think if you are an 80s baby like myself, you will know who this is. And I love that she even comes with a little rainbow stand. I think that's like the cutest thing. I ended up getting her from this site called Pop in the Box. Just because when I went on Amazon, I was reading some of the reviews for her, and a lot of people were talking about issues with her head, or the box came crushed. And one of the people in the comments mentioned Pop in the Box, and so I checked their site out. She was cheaper on Pop in the Box than she was on Amazon, but then you have to pay like $3 and change for shipping, and she took about a week to get to me. I was a little disappointed in that, just because it took so long and I was so excited to get her. But at the same time, I'd rather her take a little while to come in excellent condition than, you know, to get her fast from Amazon and, you know, she be like a bobblehead, because that's not what she's supposed to be. So, I'm really happy about these. She already lives up on my bookshelf. The only downside is Twink does not stand up on his own. So, I hear him and see him falling over all the time. But other than that, I'm so excited to have her in my collection, and I can't wait to add more. I will definitely probably shop at Pop in the Box again. I'll just be, I'll just be more aware of how long it will probably take to get the Funkos to me, if that makes sense. Now for my last two items, my because of booktube items. I picked up an item that I have never in my life actually completed one from start to finish the entire year. I've never. But I've been watching Allie from Hardback Hoarder and I think Kayla from Books and Lala, and so they made me think that I could do what they can do. And so I picked up a planner, but this is an open dated planner, so I can start when I want. I'm hoping that will, you know, give me a little bit more of an incentive to start one. But like I said, I've been watching Allie from Hardback Hoarder and Kayla from Books and Lala do their spreads and things, and so it looks like it's so much fun, but we'll see if I actually keep up with this. But I also picked it up because it was $10 at Big Lots, but then I went during their 20% off sale that they usually have, which is usually Saturday and Sunday. Everything in the store is 20% off. Plus, if you remember, every once in a while they give you coupons, and so I had a coupon too. So this turned out to be pretty cheap, so that's why I picked it up. And my last item is the personal LED light box. I've seen quite a few people have these here on BookTube, and the one that I was looking at on Amazon was like $17. This one was on sale, or this one was there at Big Lots for $12, and then I got it during the 20% off sale plus the coupon, so it was cheaper. But I'm pretty excited for this. I'm not really sure how I'm going to use it. I don't know that I'll use it during videos because I don't think you'll be able to see it depending on where I put it, but maybe I'll use it in Bookstagram pictures. I don't know. I had to have it and it was cheap, and so I'm excited for this. But that is it for my birthday haul. If you stuck it out for this entire video, thank you, because I'm kind of feeling I'm a little bit rough around the edges right now, but thank you so much for sticking around. To all of my new subscribers, hello, how are you? Thank you for subscribing. I will do my best to kind of get back on track and be a little bit more consistent in posting videos, and hopefully I will get back into reading real soon. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, guys. Hopefully it won't be so long. God bless. Bye. Go bright and twink. And I know they're not in the box. They've already been living outside of the box.